sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Here's the kicker, John Parker Romo, now to get us started. And we are underway in Foxborough. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll run here with a rookie. And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 36. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive. One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. New England trying to get a place on offense. Here's May. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What
think.
do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's May. Open man is born. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they go play action with May. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll throw with May. Flush to his right. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To the air, May. Complete, it's Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll go again with Tracy. And they get the guard, John Runyon. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Looking to throw. May.
Short pass caught by Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
The goal of a wide receiver, screen his ball and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 14. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
New York set to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Right back to Tracy.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
On the give, it's Tracy. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Touchdown! Darius Slayton from 19 yards away. And the Giants have taken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 10-3. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. New England's offense set to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. They work now on 2nd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. Throwing here is May. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes You got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Douglas with a grab over the middle. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
From the shotgun, it's May.
And Diggs has it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 33 yards.
And the Pats are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Now for the point after. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. Now it's Wilson. That ball caught by Slayton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Partner, that's excellent timing right there. Breaking off the route and being able to hit it right when he stops.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
84 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot or running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
3rd down, here's Tracy.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went ahead and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Here's Wilson.
Open man, that's Malik Neighbors.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The slot man in motion right.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. That caught by Manhertz.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They go play action now. Wilson. That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Now it's Tracy.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And the question now, can the Patriot defense hold firm again on 3rd and goal?
Tracy trying the right side.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have moved out in front. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll look to throw. He's got the hook up with Diggs. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And some space here.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd and long. He finds Douglas complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got the connection here to Bourne.
And he will have a Patriots first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
And the tackle there by Micah McFadden.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's May.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
To throw, it's May.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
In possession switching back to the New York Giants.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
In motion, the tight end. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
To throw is Wilson.
That one taken in by Neighbors.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Two yards to go, second down.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And his pass incomplete.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
And, yep, as a result, knocks it down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taking it about the 16. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Patriots take over.
The Pats going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll throw with May.
He finds his man, complete. It's Douglas. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. It's going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Or paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Throwing here is May.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. To the air, May. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
A give for Stevenson, running right. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Straight ahead, Gibson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, May. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
Here's Stevenson, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? In motion goes the tight end. Again, Stevenson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And this one is right through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here's Tracy. And he is going to lose yardage here. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
3rd and 2. Running left is Tracy. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 101 yards for him on the ground now. He has night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. Quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On the run is Tracy. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's complete to Jalen Hyatt. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Now it's Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
130 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll go again with Tracy.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
On the ground, here comes Tracy.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. We've now seen 3 consecutive 1-yard gains, and it brings up 4th down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
On 4th and goal, Kelly stopped up, and the Patriots get the football back. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Out right to Bourne. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Open man is Bourne. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Stevenson.
And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Taken right around the 44.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Throwing is Wilson.
Out route pass complete to Bellinger.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Another pass complete to Bellinger.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson running left on the option. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Giants will add to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
This 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Diggs with a good footwork. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, you talk about catching a defense off guard. They were not expecting jet sweep at all there.
Well, he was 10 yards downfield before the defense even knew what hit him. So a really good play call against a defense that was set up for them to gain big yardage. And how about how they executed the handoff there? That means they spent some time with the wide receivers taking handoffs from the quarterbacks.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Here's May. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
From the gun on 3rd down is May. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll run with Gibson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The tight end Henry here in motion. Stevenson. He is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
To throw, it's May. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So a decision to make there. They decline the penalty as they'd rather force the 4th down. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. New England on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Wilson will throw again. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And this is caught. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is up to 15 now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So the Patriots coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies will try and force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
They'll throw with May.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And down he'll go at the 25. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position.
They'll hand it to Tracy. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
On the give, it's Tracy.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Right back to Tracy.
Down right around the 25. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. To throw is Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second and goal from inside the 5.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage. Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
From the shotgun, May with it. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They'll try and throw for it with May.
That's to his running back, complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
To the air, May. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it. And the Giants are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I'll tell you what, it has not been with a whole lot of frequency over the last couple of decades or so that teams have come into New England and escaped with a victory, but that's what happened here.
It almost doesn't feel real, does it?
We've seen it so few times.
That actually happened, right? We saw it. They came out of there with a win. And on the other side, in that locker room, you know what they're saying? We didn't really lose. Time just ran out on us. That's the attitude they have because they don't see it happen very often, not even sure how to handle it.
And you see some stunned faces heading for the exits here in New England. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Foxborough, good night, everyone.